Bienvenidos. Soy Bruja Espinada and I'm here with your special full moon reading. So let's get started. Remember that at the end we'll do the clarification, closure, is my wish going to be fulfilled question. You get one, make sure to say yes or no. And then we will do the live shuffle for the law of attraction cards. It must be attracted to you during this time of the full moon. Okay, so when asked, what does the watcher need to release, what does the watcher need to embrace during this full moon? What came out was the Four of Swords and the World card. So the Four of Swords, both these cards, they go hand in hand. So what the Four of Swords is telling you is right now is a time for you to start resting. You need to embrace rest, recovery, start embracing time to recoup, to build up your strength. Because paired with the World card, it's telling you that a cycle has just ended. Something has just completed itself in your life. A journey's been completed. You're at the end of a journey. Something's been accomplished. A new lesson has been learned. So now it's time to rest. Embrace the rest. And whether or not you believe it, a lot of the times people are usually like, oh, on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. You're not a damned machine. Humans need rest, even if it's just for a day. I assure you, you need to embrace time for rest, recuperation, and recovery, because a cycle's just completed and now it's time for something new. When asked, what does the watcher need to release? What came out was the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands has a lot to do with self-expression, creativity. So if you've been working on a project, if you've been working on securing your bag, if you've been working on coming up with new ideas, securing a new collaboration, some type of a union, whether it's in work, love, family, whatever the heck it is, now's the time to express yourself. This is a time for creativity. Let your creativity out. Don't just hold it in and second guess yourself. No, now's the time to let your creativity, your ideas for manifesting new things, now is the time to release them, especially since it's the full moon. The full moon and the new moon are both amazing times to put your manifestations into play, and that's what this is telling you. So to further reinforce this, we asked the Threads of Fate what lesson is being illuminated for you during this time of the full moon, and what came out was paradox. What the paradox tells you is that this card is a reminder that we can hold two extremes at the same time. Sometimes we focus on things, whether internal or external, and see them as one-sided. But to hold the paradox within us requires strength to see our most brilliant qualities and our most ugly, to acknowledge that they both live within us is a gateway to growth. One of the best ways to slowly enter a relationship with our internal paradox is to remind ourselves that we did not create these things within us. We inherited them. It does not define us, and yet we are responsible for it. To work more deeply with paradox as you witness yourself throughout the day, identify what types of thoughts you have more of, positive or negative. From there, find the polar extreme. For example, maybe you thought, I'm so fucking lazy. Acknowledge a couple of things that make that true. Then find the polar opposite. Example, hardworking. And acknowledge a few things or experience that prove that you are hardworking. Now, this has a lot to do with what we just read. It's time for manifestation. It's time for that self-expression. Express yourself, but it's time to recover and heal and recoup. So, as the cycle has just ended, right now is the perfect time to start switching that thought process of like, oh, I'm so fucking lazy. Like, oh, I'm a slacker. Oh, whatever it is, and flip it on its head. Now it's to start. It's recouping is healing. Resting is healing. Now is the time, a perfect time, the full moon, to start healing. So start thinking like, you know what? Yeah, I can be lazy, but 50% of the time, 98% of the time, 85% of the time, whatever percentage you acknowledge, I work my ass off and I don't stop and I don't quit. And you know what? I have no problem starting over. It's things like that type of shit that you need to start acknowledging, because you're manifesting new things. This is a new way to start expressing yourself. New. Now, asking what the guided message from the animal spirit guides. What came out was the dragonfly and the wasp. So, starting with the dragonfly. Dragonfly spirit says, truth transcends illusion. The message is, Dragonfly Spirit is here to remind you of the wisdom and the truth available at all times in the hidden realms. Just as a dragonfly catches your eye with its reflective wings and body, Dragonfly Spirit appears to tell you to pay attention to the truth beyond the illusion and recognize the insights that come seemingly out of nowhere, peeking through from behind the veil. In the realm of spirit, there is far more wisdom than you can perceive with your senses. And there is a deep knowing that you are not separate or alone, for a higher power recognizes you and loves you beyond measure. Fears dissipate as you realize you are embraced by the nurturing force that is everywhere, always in communication with you. Aligning when you are preoccupied. Dragonfly Spirit offers this message. You exist in unity with all, including the protective spirits who share their wisdom, and you are being nudged along the path your soul needs to travel to have the experiences it craves. Love exists in many forms, and sometimes we overlook it when we don't recognize a particular form. Pay attention to the signs now. They remind you that each of us have inspired dreams seamlessly sewn into the fabric of the invisible world. And there is a great consciousness that exists in the seemingly empty spaces, guiding us on our journey. Open to the truth, letting the wisdom of the hidden realms inform you, providing insights to your conscious mind's overlooks. The additional message. Did you really think this world of the senses is all there is? From the hidden mystical realms, signs are being sent to you, but perhaps you have perceived separation and convinced yourself that you are on your own. Have you fallen into spiritual amnesia and forgotten your connection to a living, loving, always supportive universe? If so, rub the sleep out of your eyes, for Dragon Spirit is here to remind you of all the love and support available to you in every moment. There is an organizing principle underlying the events that you have experienced, and Dragonfly Spirit can help you see it and trust that Spirit has your back. Let go of the illusion of chaos and randomness. Love is here, so follow the signs that appear serendipitously. As you pay attention to the magic all around you, you will know that you are on the right track. Come on, guys. So, Wasp Spirit. Wasp Spirit tells you sometimes life stings. Ain't that the truth? Not all that Spirit creates in nature is easy to love. But when we look through the eyes of Wasp Spirit, we recognize that even though sometimes life stings, there is a purpose for pain, just as there is a purpose for wasps in the natural world. Wasps keep insect populations down, supporting the growth of plants. So too, the sting of life may hurt, and you may feel deeply disappointed. or even resentful that wasp spirit has shown up. But you will soon come to see that spirit has something wonderful in store for you. You may well come to realize that being stung led to something far better than you had envisioned for yourself. Perhaps behind the scenes, wasp spirit was conspiring with spirit to ensure that you could grow something of value to you. Spirit has a plan, and wasp spirit plays a part. Have you ever looked back and been glad your prayers hadn't been answered because the path you took led to something far better? Wasp spirit is a reminder to reflect on those times, for today's sting may hurt, but something better awaits you. The additional message. Are you holding on to anger, jealousy, or resentment because you got stung? Or could you have just stung yourself by comparing yourself to others? There will always be someone else who is more successful, happier, thinner, richer, etc. Jealousy is the false belief that you can't have what you want, or someone could take away something that was supposed to be yours. Let it go and release all those feelings that are making the sting hurt long after the stinger has been removed. Wasp spirit has woken you up, and now you are called to trust that disappointment can lead you to a different and better path. Align with spirit now and trust that this too shall pass, and is already doing so, for the pain subsides when you stop telling the story of how much it hurt. Well, damn. Well, damn. Let's cut that bullshit out. It's time to rest. That's another message. Like, okay, it's time to heal. It's time to recoup. It's time to, realign yourself. It's time to recover from the sting, from the hurt, because you know what? That shit is all done with. It's time for something new. And you're working towards it. And sometimes, like, that's one of the paradoxes is you can already know, like, yeah, I'm better than this, but you're still having that hurt. I mean, that's the way the cookie crumbles. But now it's time for your question. I hope you think about your question. You're thinking about it. It has to be a yes or a no. Just one question, please. Okay. One message or response. Oh, hold on. I don't want it to come out already. What response do you have for the watcher? What response do you have for the watcher? What response do you have for the watcher? Yes. Yes. Your message is yes. That is the message from the universe, the divine, the higher powers. Okay. Now, this is my favorite part actually. Is this one. Let's see what's being attracted to you at this time of the full moon. I love seeing what people are attracting. It's because usually, like, this is the reason why I do this live is to show, like, not all of this is staged. I don't pull anything. That's not my way of doing stuff. And that's the reason why I don't do the full live of shuffling all the cards. Sometimes it takes forever. And I try to maintain the 15-minute recording time on Instagram. All right. What is the watcher attracting at this time? What is the watcher attracting at this time? What is being attracted to the watcher at this time? Only two this time. So the first one that came out was beliefs come true. Your beliefs create your reality. Recognize and change emotions. Reprogram subconscious mind. Come on, guys. Come on. And then the last one was observe. Not getting caught in the story or details. Total acceptance of what is. Step back, see the bigger picture. Remember this wasp and dragonfly message. I hope this message resonates. It helps you guys, and I'll see you guys next week.